The coronavirus outbreak has left the global economy extremely vulnerable. Now, for weeks, we have been telling you about the possible economic implications of the outbreak. And now, the International Monetary Fund has warned of possible damage to the global economy. The IMF chief, Kristalina Georgieva, expects growth to fall by somewhere between 0.1 and 0.2%. This is especially bad news, considering the world just witnessed the slowest growth rate of the last decade in 2019. According to the IMF chief, it is too early to assess the full impact of the outbreak, and a lot will depend on how quickly China can get a grip on the infection. But industries like travel and tourism have already taken a hit.
It is too early to say, because we don't yet quite know what is the nature of this virus. We don't know how quickly China would be able to contain it. We don't know whether it would spread to the rest of the world. What we do know, however, is that, yes, indeed, it is going to affect global value chains, already affecting some. It is affecting tourism. It is affecting travel.
The IMF chief also addressed the comparisons with the SARS outbreak in 2003. She admitted that the Chinese economy was now the biggest driver of global economic growth, and this was not the case in 2003. She also applauded the Chinese government for pumping money into the economy to mitigate this impact.
It is true, China today is a much bigger share of the world economy than during SARS. During SARS, 8%. Today, 19%. So if things go bad for China, this is not good news for the rest of the world. But they're working very hard to contain the epidemics. They have poured $115 billion equivalent liquidity so they can perk up the economy.
Armed robbers have stolen hundreds of toilet rolls in Hong Kong, a city that's struggling with shortages caused by coronavirus panic. The police said that a truck driver was held by 3 men outside a supermarket in Mong Kok, a working-class district with a history of organized crime gangs. Now, the knife-wielding men reportedly took toilet paper worth more than 1,000 Hong Kong dollars. People are resorting to panic buying in the city, fearing that supermarkets may run out of supplies soon. These stores are unable to restock quickly enough, which has led to long queues and fire sale within moments of opening of the shops. Now, also the supermarkets and pharmacies in Hong Kong, one of the world's most densely populated cities, struggle with limited storage space. So the panic is driven by the city's earlier encounter with a deadly virus, the severe acute respiratory syndrome outbreak in 2003, which took the lives of 299 Hong Kong citizens. Authorities have blamed false online rumors for the panic buying and say supplies of food and household goods remains stable. Now, WION correspondent Bruce Harrison sent us this report from Hong Kong.
Just this morning, a group of men armed a delivery driver at knife point for a certain number of toilet paper rolls. Over the past few weeks, panic buying has ensued in Hong Kong. People are buying masks in bulk, they're buying toilet paper, they're buying rice over fears, some unfounded, rumors as well, that the supplies are going to be in a shortage because of the impact of the coronavirus. Some of those simply aren't true, but by and large, the local population here does have concerns in the long run, despite what the government is saying, that these supplies aren't in a shortage and that everyone needs to remain calm. Well, I'll start here in Hong Kong. Day-to-day life seems pretty normal. You can see plenty of people walking on the streets behind me. Most of them are wearing their masks. There's still a high level of concern about transmitting the virus, and people are quite cautious in public settings. The city canceled its arts festival. Multiple concerts, sporting events have been canceled to avoid forming crowds. As far as life on the mainland, there's also a high level of concern. In Beijing, the government has enacted quarantines for people returning from the mainland from their Lunar New Year holiday. But obviously the most dire situation is in Wuhan, and we've been in contact with several people there over Skype, and the day-to-day is pretty grim. People barely go outside. They're self-isolating for fear because there's such a high number of confirmations of the virus there. They only go out for the essentials.